Hey, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, I just want to ask you a few questions about your relationship, if that's all right.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Perfect. So, you're married, right?
I am married.
Uh huh. And for how long?
We just hit 1 year.
Okay, perfect. So, first question.
Mhm.
How did you guys meet?
We actually met through a mutual friend of both of ours, someone he went to high school with, someone I grew up with. And he was deployed at the time. So we didn't get to actually meet in person until roughly like 2 months into talking. Um, I actually wasn't even looking for a relationship when we started talking. My friend sent me a photo of him and was like, "Hey, my friend's always asking me if I have single friends, blah blah blah." And I was like halfway, like, I don't know, I don't know if I want to talk to somebody. And I was like, "Oh, I'll do it as friends." And for a good month, yeah, we talked as friends, and it was really nice. It was really nice having somebody just to talk to. I don't have a lot of friends down here, like I did when I was in Virginia. And we just started talking, and then one day it was just it like hit me in the face. I had lockjaw, of course. I don't know what from, why, blah blah blah, but I was telling him about it, and then he just sends me like a list of all these ways to help with it. I guess like he looked it up, and I was like, oh my, this guy cares enough to look up symptoms and ways to help me for lockjaw. And I was like, that was it. It was that exact moment. I was like, oh, I like him. And yeah, that's what started it all. We would do little FaceTime dates and watch movies, and because he was deployed, so we weren't gonna be able to meet for a little bit. And honestly, I think that's what strengthened our relationship the most, was because of that, because there was no pressure of meeting in person and like first date jitters of being face to face with someone. We really got to enjoy our time with each other and just learned so much about one another. And then he came back in May, and that's when we first officially met. He came over and we hung out at my house. And honestly, from then on, everything's been history. It's been really great, and I'm really, really happy with where I am and who I'm with. So yeah,
Oh, that's very sweet. So, how did you know he was the one?
I knew he was the one when, even though I'm such a serious person, he tells me all the time how serious I am. Because yes, I am not a big jokester. Sometimes I can be, sometimes I can be a little silly, but he's like the complete opposite of me. Huge jokester, wants to make everyone in the room laugh. And I think it was in those moments, those tiny little moments, that I realized that he's going to be the one who's going to even me out for the rest of my life, because I can't be serious forever. And he's going to be the one who's going to make me laugh or chuckle, or even on my most annoyed days, get some kind of reaction out of me. So I think that's when I truly knew that he was the one, especially with how much my family loves him and how much my friends love him. Like, he just gets along with everyone life in my life. It's just crazy. Like, he tells me how he doesn't really like talking to people, but then I introduce him to someone, or we go hang out with a group, and he's always the one talking the most, or hanging out with everyone, or making jokes, or connecting stories with his, and talking about his life. And he's very easy to talk to, and I just love how much of an impact he's made on my family's life, especially. And they just all love and adore him. They even consider him a son, and they always joke that if it ever works out, they'll adopt him, because that's how much they love him.
Aw, that's really sweet. All right, next question. How would you describe your partner to someone else?
um, how I would describe, well, huge jokester, loves everyone in his life, will do anything for anyone, no matter how much of an inconvenience it is for himself. He's a big like, let's do it. Who cares what people are going to think? Um, for example, he would literally drive 10 to 15 hours to see someone if they needed him. And that's just who he is. He's a good friend, a good person. He will always be the one to make you laugh when you need it. Um, Even in very serious and sometimes really sad times, he really always knows how to make it a okay time and knows how to make a joke out of it, which can be good and sometimes bad depending on the situation. But in my opinion, I think it's good to be able to have some kind of laugh because you can't spend your life in sadness. That's how I would describe him to very caring person. He loves everyone. And even if he met you once, he would do probably anything for you.
All right. This is coming along nicely. So, next question. How did he propose?
So he actually proposed in my kitchen. And it was just us two. And it was a ring from Kohl's, and it was the cutest little ring. Um, wasn't expensive at all. And I'm not a big person on money and how expensive rings are. As long as it's pretty, I don't really. So it was my birthday. I believe I'm 25 now. It was when I was turning 23. It should have been when I turned 23. And we had just come home from hanging out with my family and doing my birthday stuff. And he had set up stuff on the table, and he had a cake, and I was opening the bag that he put out for me, and there was a ring box in it. Now, my first initial reaction was he was messing with me because he's a Jew, huge practical jokester. So I was like, wow, of course. I even turned around and I was like, are you being serious right now? Are you joking with me? And he was down on one knee with that little cute ring. And I was like, oh my God, are you being serious right now? Because I thought he was joking with me. I did not think he was being serious. And yeah, and I said yes. And we got married a year later. And it was the cutest little proposal for both of us. Um, However, I am a big person. I like being the center of attention, and I will not deny that. But it was a good way for him because he doesn't like being the center of attention, and I appreciated it and I loved it.
That sounds very sweet. All right. Wedding. Where did it happen? And go ahead and describe that day for me.
So the wedding day. Let me take you. Oh, and speaking of the wedding day, um, we got married at the Golfarium. Beautiful, beautiful service. Beyond excited. We got married April 15th. And it was like a beautiful day for like the whole day until like an hour before we had to get there. And it starts downpouring. Like full on torrential rain. And we kind of expected it, but I was kind of hoping it wouldn't happen. But anyways, so getting hair and makeup done, showing my family, my bridesmaids, my first time in my dress, and then me walking out to the limousine with my J. Paul holding an umbrella over me because it was downpouring, like full on downpouring. And we finally make it to Golfarium, and I'm running in. There's people already in there, and I get upstairs before he gets there and take some more pictures. And honestly, I probably was like smiling ear to ear. Like I just could not stop smiling. And then after that, they had to move everything inside, which the Golfarium was amazing with, by the way. They put the entire ceremony in the same place we did the reception and flipped it within an hour. So we got the ceremony stuff put up in the reception. Well, I didn't, but the Golfarium staff did. And we went downstairs to start my, and yeah, and then honestly, you know how marriages go, weddings go. I walked down the aisle with my dad, and we said our vows, very beautiful vows, and then that was it. And then we went outside to take pictures. I had extra time for the guests to look at the park and explore the park and stuff. That gave us a lot more times for pictures. Sadly, it was like pitch black outside because it was raining, but some of the pictures came out really really well. And then within an hour, we went into the reception, and they flipped that whole thing. All the tape, there was like 13 tables, like it was beautiful. And we came in and we had our first dance, and honestly, we were pulled in 20 different directions the majority of the whole day. We really didn't get a time to like sit down, but it was fun. It was definitely something I think about often. And then we had our exit, and we had people do glow sticks. So I thought that'd be fun, especially since it was so dark. And we came out, and everyone was like swinging their glow sticks, and it was really really fun. We had a really great time, and I'm really glad we did it the way we did, because it was at least, honestly, if I could relive any day, it would be that. Yeah, think about it all the time. Still see videos and pictures of it all the time. I'm like, gosh, I miss that so much. But yeah, um, that was basically the day.
Is there anything you would change about him?
um, I don't think there is anything I would change about him. He, even though he's a goofball, and he has his moments, and we have our moments, and I would love him either way, you know? And I don't care what he looks like, even though I hate when he has just the mustache. I say it's a little pedo stash. And I'm like, please shave it off. Please shave it off. Other than that, I think that's the one thing I would change, is the fact that he wants to keep that mustache. He's just he's really amazing, and I love him so much. And I don't think I would trade him for anyone. I am very, very lucky to have him in my life. He cares so deeply for me, and he tells me all the time how beautiful he thinks I am. And even though I don't believe him, um, he is honestly just the best.
Another question. Do you hope to have a family in the future?
But yeah, we really do hope to have a family in the future. We have talked about kids. It is something we have considered. Um, we do have it a little harder than others, but I don't think that's gonna stop us, because in the end, I really do believe we're gonna have at least one. And even if they aren't going to be biologically his, or possibly even related to him, they're going to be just as much as his. They are mine. And I fully believe they will have his goofy personality. That'd be my luck. uh, and we would love to have maybe little words around.
Do you think he will be a good dad?
I do think he'd be a good dad. I think he'd be a really good dad. He's already really great with his nephew, cousin. His family tree is a little complicated. He's amazing with him, and any other kid we interact with, he's amazing with.
Aww. How does he show his love for you?
Um, he's a very affectionate person. He loves showing me that he loves me by being affectionate. I have my love, my receiving love is acts of service. It's just if you do something for me, And my give love, how I show love is gift giving. I'm a huge gift giver. It's really bad. He also loves to give gifts, and he's really hard about not giving it to me early. Like that man cannot keep it to himself. Let me tell you. But yeah,
All right. Last question. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your partner?
is there anything else? I don't think so. I think I'd like to say that in the end, I truly do believe that he's going to be the person I spend the rest of my life with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have married him. And yeah, I think about that a lot and how much I love him in fear of his death. That happens to me a lot. Got a love anxiety. Um, he is just an amazing man, and I can't wait to see what our future holds, whether that be kids or vacation or adventures we do. If it's with him, I know it's gonna. He is my security blanket. Anytime I feel very, very anxious or don't feel well, he's the one I want to talk to. He's the one I want um be there at the end of the day. Hearing his voice, honestly, is very soothing and it always makes me relax, no matter the situation. And he always knows what to say. Because while I'm over here freaking out about something that may never happen, he's just like, chill out. It's not gonna happen. I don't know. Sometimes I actually do believe him, and and I chill out. But yeah, he is and will always be the one. No one will ever come close to him, and I love him very much, and I hope he knows that. It's our anniversary, so I decided to do this interview for him. I hope he knows how much he is. Maybe I'll get a tear out of him for this. Because that man doesn't cry for anything. But yeah. And I think that concludes it. Happy anniversary, Kyle. I love you.